these things, right, your parents or your friends telling you is not going to really get to your head. Some mistakes you must be made by yourself.
Experience,
Yeah, then you learn from your own experience.
For all these like different opportunities, like do you go and like look for these new opportunities, or like do they like come to you and ask you to perform for them?
For the few shows I've done in Singapore, I would get the calls. Yeah, because in Singapore there's only so many artists who are able to do it. Yeah, so I don't have to market myself or put myself out there.
Do you foresee yourself doing this for your retirement plan?
Good question, actually. There's a possibility. I may not be the artist. I may be running the show. I may be directing the show, or possibly I can see myself running a circus show in Singapore at some point when all my financial goals are met. Yeah, so I believe that I need to build a very strong base financially, and then I can have the liberty and the privilege to venture into some of these passion projects. Yeah, so imagine me at 40, being a ringmaster, running a circus show next to MBS. There'll be a big tent, and then every night there'll be 500 people come and watch the show.
You let us know, we come and watch.
Yeah, let us know. Make it
Maybe
big.
we can be the performer.
Make it big. Make it big.
Yes, correct. But what would you say is kind of like the biggest differences between like your corporate job and also like the performing arts industry? Because both is technically self-employed. You need to like go and market yourself out there and like get all these gigs. I mean, technically for financial advisor, then you need to like get clients as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest difference is it is so much easier to make a living as an advisor compared to being an artist.
Realistically, right? Yeah.
Like that was one shocking epiphany to me. As an artist, I put in so much more energy and time and even pain, because some of the trainings can be painful, right? Just to make like peanuts. But as an advisor, I would say I can't say I work harder than I did before. Right? I work probably less. And it's not as physically tiring. It's not as dangerous compared to my acrobatic work, right? So actually a lot less taxing on me. And I can make 10 times the income. Seriously, no kidding. Yeah. So the one conclusion I came to is that there are so much easier ways to make money than being an artist.
So after you realized that, right, then have you ever like regretted those years of pursuing this artist dream?
No, I wouldn't change a thing about the path that I took. Because those memories are priceless. Those are things that money cannot buy. Right? If somebody handed you $1 million today and say, hey, I want to have this acrobatic experience, I'll refund you. You cannot. You just can't buy this experience. Right? The people that I met, the places I traveled, and the shows that I did are priceless.
Are you still in contact with all your coaches, your ex-performers?
I am with some of them. Yeah. So in fact, last year I went back to Vegas to visit. I was there on a convention with Manulife, and I was able to reconnect with some of my friends, including my coach. Yeah. So if Dima, if you're watching this, so I went to say hi to some of them, have dinner, drinks, and yeah, it was really nice to go back there, but as a visitor than as a part of the industry.
Are they all still performing?
Many of them are. Yeah, most of them, they managed to ride out the COVID period, and now shows are open again and back, so many of them are, but also a proportion of them that ended up doing a career switch, like myself, and venturing into other roles.
Then sometimes do you feel like FOMO when you see them on the stage? Like, oh my god, that could
there's
have
a
been me.
tiny little, 1 little inch of well, I mean, okay, all in all, I'm very happy with my life. Okay, they probably look at my lifestyle and they think like, wow, Eddy, is way more comfortable and he's doing really well. And if I see some of their successes too, like from some of them, for example, they are performing in their dream roles in Cirque du Soleil and so on, and I'm happy for them, you know. And so, of course, there'll be a tiny part of me that's like, oh, I wish I was able to. But then like, actually, no, I'm okay. Yeah, my life is good. My life is good.
I mean, it would be best if you have both, right?
Yeah, I cannot have the best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah. Remember, you can have anything you want,
But not everything.
but not everything.
True. I mean, I guess it relates for us as well. Like, I do agree that these experiences are priceless. I guess that's also why we pay for like recitals and all that stuff.
Like we pay to
perform.
Yeah.
Like sometimes my friends will ask me like, huh, you perform, then you need to pay like hundreds of dollars. Then I'm like, but like even just for like 3 minutes of being on stage. And sometimes as if your friend goes there, they can't even spot you because there's like, a lot of dancers, right? But you still want to like pay for the experience. So I guess it is really quite priceless.
Yeah, I think the experience that we get from everything that we have gone through is just way more than the price that we pay, which also brings up another point of what you have been emphasizing, being financially comfortable enough so that we can go and pursue, we can keep joining all these performances.
Yeah, so imagine I Ching, right? If you have, let's say, $1 million portfolio today, okay? Hypothetically, you got a golden goose.
Amen.
Okay? And this portfolio is able to generate you a projected 6% dividend yield.
Wow,
6% is quite realistic, okay? Hypothetically. So 60,000 a year, 5,000 a month. Do you think you have more options in life?
Of course.
Right? Yeah. So I would advocate for this. That before you want to be foolish and crazy and young and all that, build that financial base so that you are financially retired. You're not dependent on your job for your lifestyle. And then you are free to do whatever job you are passionate about.
That's true.
You want to be a travel blogger, you want to be a food taster, or you want to be a clown and perform, bask on the streets. All is good. Every month you got 5K. That's the golden egg.
Wow. So it means like there's no kind of like financial pressure while you are pursuing this passion.
Yes, absolutely. You can go and do charity if you want. You can go and work for NGOs because you're so passionate about the cause. Because every month you don't wake up, every month got 5K coming in.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you think if we haven't reached that like kind of financial freedom to pursue our passion without the financial pressures, is it worth it to still pursue what you like? Because maybe as our generation, we just go for it. We have a dream.
I will just do it regardless of.
Yeah.
Our generation have the mindset of we'll just do it regardless of the circumstances. Because we like it, so we will do it. Which may not be the most practical way to do things, but what do you think would suit? What is something that you would suggest that will suit us better? Like, how can we manage both our interests and our main job itself?
Okay, well, so to begin with, there's no right or wrong, right? Everybody can make their own decisions. They got to live with the consequences of their choices, right? So if you're okay to delay your property ownership, by 5 years, then go ahead and do it. It's fine. But if you are, say, okay, by 30, I want to have a private property. Will doing this passion help you to get to your goal? Right? And if it won't, are you going to make peace with that? Are you okay to wait until 35 to buy your first HDB, for example?
Okay.
Right? Because every choice, there's going to be a consequence attached to it. You can only choose the choice. You cannot choose the consequence. So you cannot say, hey, I'm going to be a hippie and become an artist, right? And travel the world or whatever pursuit that you want to do, which does not generate you so much income. And then also have the financial goal of like, I want to, own a private property by 30. I want to drive a BMW in Singapore. And I want to live this lifestyle of going for omakase, So it's a trade-off. If it's more important for you to pursue your passion and you're okay with the sacrificing the financial rewards, then go for it. And especially if you come from a family background where your family is so wealthy that there's multi-generational wealth that they don't need you to generate income from your employment, then have at it.
Mm.
Yeah, but if you come from a simple family background and you need to feed yourself and you need to feed your immediate family, and you know that this artist job is not going to feed you and it's not going to put food on the table, then you got to make some sacrifices, some choices.
I guess it depends on your goals during that period of your life. I guess like because for us it's like when we graduate out of uni, like the whole adulting world is like so fresh. Then we also probably want to like kind of like chase what we like and then see how it goes from there. But I guess after a while, if all of these circumstances or all of these pressures like get to us, then it does kind of shift the mindset or the goal a little bit, right?
Absolutely. Because these things, right, your parents or your friends telling you is not going to really get to your head. Some mistakes you must be made by yourself.
Experience,
Then you learn from your own experience. Right? So if you want to go and pursue this thing that you're so crazy about, go and do it. Give yourself 1 year or 6 months, right? A time frame. And after that time frame, you reassess whether the values are still aligned or your values now have changed and matured. I would say back then, my lifestyle so I think finding a mentor is very important. Yeah. So in the last 4 years, my financial situation completely changed 180, right? Yeah. So okay, I don't want to quote numbers, but yeah. So yes, it is possible. I think one thing, if there's one thing I learned from my time as an acrobat, right, it is the discipline and the perseverance that I honed in my days as an acrobat, which I can then transfer to my current role as a salesperson, right? So generally, let's say if you've been an athlete in the past, you're a sportsman, right? You already have certain qualities that make you a good athlete. Discipline, consistency, willpower, focus, all these stuff. Now, if you take those same qualities and apply it to your job, whether it's your sales career or your corporate role, then you will reach excellence a lot faster. Yeah. So I would say that period as an artist, it was not for nothing. It developed certain character, certain qualities that I can then transfer to my new corporate role, right? And achieve a level of excellence faster than the rest.
I mean, that's true, I guess. For dance, it's like sometimes because of how much we dance as well, I guess it helps to build like all these certain soft skills that you mentioned, like confidence, discipline and all that stuff. Do you feel the same way? Like, does it transfer to your current role as well?
I feel definitely it does. So for me, I think the value that really impacted me the most was commitment, like being disciplined. Because I used to be someone that I lose interest in things very easily. So I'm the kind that parents won't send you to classes because they know that I will not be interested after the first lesson.
Same.
But it's just somehow after getting into dance, then I realized that there is actually this thing called commitment, that if you want to do well, then you gotta put in the time and effort. And this commitment wise is not like a 1 week, 2 week thing. It will take months, it will take years for you to see the result that you want. Which I feel that for job wise, if I really want to achieve like my financial goals, I want to be comfortable financially, I really need to commit. And like, because right now I'm doing like 2 jobs, so like odd jobs aside from the main one. So it's really the discipline and really the commitment to go and take on the role, take on the job, and to just keep going even though it's very tiring. Yeah.
Just to persevere as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like I always wish like when I see all my dancer friends that are already out in the scene, I'm like, maybe like I really want to be there one day. But it's like you cannot just train overnight. It's always like you need to keep training every day and all that stuff.
Yeah, it might take years for them to be where they are.
And sometimes for every person, they also have different like timelines in terms of like growth, because like for some people I see they start like only a few years back, but then they could already make it out into the dance scene, but some people might take a bit longer. So I guess like it's also kind of like to appreciate the journey more than the destination.
As cliche as it sounds, it's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So now would you want to actually pursue dance as a full-time after hearing all this?
Initially, it has never come across my mind to really go and do dance full time. At least not in Singapore, because of the opportunities that we have here. So I'm happy with where I am now, juggling dance and work. So I do dance after work, even though physically it's quite tiring. I feel that I couldn't give my all during dance after work, but I feel that this will be the best way for me, at least for now lah. Considering I'm like 24 now, but I'm still doing an intern, and there are younger staff that are working like full-time executive, which, not gonna lie, is sometimes a bit demoralizing, but it's okay because I took an industry switch, so I didn't mind like starting from zero again lah. What about you? Are you going to continue dancing?
I think it will. My answer will be around the same. Like, I guess, I mean, realistically now, like I'm at the position where I'm like kind of financially free to go and pursue this passion like full time. So what I can do now is kind of like to try. Still have a full-time job to kind of like sustain me, but also because I really, really want to like grow in this like passion, then I need to make sacrifices and maybe like dance after work, or like train by myself and train with like the community around me and find like opportunities as well to get into like the dance scene. Yeah, but eventually maybe one day if the opportunity comes, then wouldn't mind really like just like go overseas and do this for like a few years, I guess.
If we ever reach your level of comfort, right, in terms of financial ability, I think we will not be in Singapore anymore.
You mean you will move to another country to pursue dance?
If we have the choice, I think the both of us will do that. Yeah, there's more to see, more to learn. Not saying that Singapore is very limited or what, or like we are not good, but it's just there are a lot more things that we don't have here in terms of culture, the people, and I think culture, exposing ourselves to different culture, it will be very helpful, especially in terms of dance. Yeah, like the art that you're doing is good to know their origins, where they come from and all.
Well, for the audience who are watching this, there is a way that you can balance both roles better, and that's if you are self-employed. Okay, so for instance, if you are a real estate agent, or if you are in financial services, or any other kind of sales role where you are, your performance determines your outcome, you get a lot more flexibility on your schedule, right? That's one way that you can have more opportunities to devote to that passion, right? And that's part of the reason why I also entered this industry in financial services, is because I was sold the idea that, hey, you have flexibility, you have control over your schedule, you want to work 4 days a week or 3 days a week, it's possible as long as you juggle your responsibilities and you bring in the results. So we are not paid for the time, but we're paid for the results. Right? So that would be sort of the middle ground, or the cheat code that you can look into, for the audience, right, that wants to have a professional career while at the same time having more flexibility and time availability to continue pursuing your passion. Yeah. So in my team, there is one guy who is still singing. He does quite a few gigs in Singapore. Right, he even sang at the Esplanade for National Day, right? Yeah, so he also MCs events, and he's the host for for hire. Yeah, so if you have a flexible schedule, then you can still continue to do all those things as a side gig. Yeah, so that's another food for thought.
Wow, that's a nice way to conclude this.
Yeah. I think the advice would be very, very helpful for the viewers and the audiences. Yeah,
especially for kind of like us who just graduated and entered into the adulting world and like is currently thinking whether we should pursue passion or not.
Well, if I may sum it up, the best time to make your mistakes is now. So your
Just
opportunity cost is the lowest. So if you are curious, if you are passionate to go and pursue something, go and do it. Just give yourself a time frame that, hey, 1 year or 2 years, I would revisit my strategy in life. Okay, but you cannot have an unlimited timeline. You cannot be like, I will keep doing this until there's no timeline. Yeah. So the cost of your mistakes are the cheapest now. So make all the mistakes. Yeah, because you don't have that many opportunities down the road if you are in your 30s, right? Because for me, the defining decision was I want to live with no regrets. And for me, right after I graduated, that was the best time in my life to take this risk, right? If I never took that risk to become a professional artist, I will always live with what if.
That's true.
And I didn't want to live with what if. Right? I would rather go pursue it, hit my head against the wall, right? And then be like, okay, fine. Then
and then I will yeah. So for the audience out there, go for it.
Just do it now.
Yeah, do it now before it's too late. Or like before you regret. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of today's episode. Thank you, Eddy, for coming down and for sharing your insights and your experiences with us. Okay, see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.